Expectation is not a casual wish or a passing thought. It is a fixed inner knowing that something will come to pass. It carries with it the weight of faith, a vibration so certain that the universe cannot help but respond. When a person truly expects good, they walk differently, they speak differently, and they make decisions that align with the reality they anticipate. It is like holding an invisible contract in your hand, one that is already signed by the unseen forces of supply. You do not beg or plead for what you expect, you prepare for it. A farmer does not plant seeds and then wonder if they will grow. He knows the harvest is inevitable. In the same way, when you expect abundance, you act as if it is already yours, and your actions invite it to manifest. The trouble for most is that their expectation is wrapped in doubt. They hope for prosperity but quietly believe in scarcity. This split in belief sends out mixed signals, and the result is a trickle rather than a flood. True expectation leaves no room for fear, no space for, what if it doesn't happen? It stands steady, even when circumstances seem to contradict it. Imagine a person waiting for a train they know will arrive at a specific time. They do not question whether it is coming, they simply watch the tracks, confident it will appear. That is how expectation works with money. You look to your future with the same calm certainty, knowing your supply is on its way. The mind shapes reality, and when the mind is fixed on the arrival of wealth, life begins arranging itself to fulfill that vision. Opportunities show, ideas spark, and doors open because you are attuned to receiving. The one who expects lack notices only problems and closed paths, but the one who expects prosperity sees solutions, connections, and openings. This is not magic. It is the natural order responding to the signal you send. If you have ever awaited a guest, you prepared the room, set the table, and made space for them. Expectation for money works the same way. You prepare mentally, emotionally, and practically for its arrival. You speak of it as though it is already here, you make plans that include it, and you move with the quiet authority of someone who knows they will be supplied. This mental state draws circumstances into alignment with your belief. For the mind and the universe work in harmony. Even when delays occur, the one anchored in expectation does not waver. They understand that the timing of manifestation may not match their own clock, but it will arrive right on schedule according to divine order. This unwavering certainty builds a magnetic field around you, pulling the very resources you have envisioned. People are drawn to those who expect success because their confidence inspires trust, and trust opens doors to opportunities. The energy of expectation is not restless or anxious, it is calm, confident, and at peace. It knows that what is sought is already moving toward it. It is the difference between knocking timidly at a door and walking through a doorway you know is open. When you expect abundance, your life begins to mirror that inner picture until the invisible becomes visible and the imagined becomes real. In the world of spiritual law, expectation is the seed and reality is the harvest. Plant it with certainty, tend it with faith, and watch the garden of your prosperity flourish.
Money is a living current, not a stagnant pool. Just as water must flow to remain fresh, money must circulate to remain abundant. When you give, spend, or invest with faith, you set in motion an energetic exchange that ensures its return in greater measure. Many people, out of fear, hold tightly to every coin, thinking they are protecting themselves from loss, but this very act chokes the flow of supply. Hoarding from a place of lack is like cutting off the breath of life. Eventually, the stream runs dry. True prosperity thinkers understand that each time money leaves their hands in a spirit of trust and blessing, it becomes a seed planted in the soil of the universe. Seeds do not vanish, they multiply. The return may not come from the same source or in the same form, but it will come, often increased and enriched. Giving opens channels you cannot see. A small gift to a friend, a donation to a cause, even paying a bill with gratitude. All these actions release energy into circulation. That energy must find its way back, for the law of return is as certain as the law of gravity. The difference between loss and gain lies in the consciousness with which the money is sent out. When you release it in fear, believing you are losing something, you magnetize more loss. When you release it with the inner knowing that it will return multiplied, you magnetize gain. The river does not worry about running dry because it is fed from a higher source. So it is with money. Your true supply comes not from your job, a client, or a single transaction, but from the infinite source that works through countless channels. Sometimes the return is swift, as in receiving an unexpected payment or opportunity. Other times it comes in the form of connections, ideas, or events that open the way for more. The key is to trust the process, to know that circulation is proof of life and that stagnation breeds decay. If a merchant locked all his goods in a warehouse and refused to sell them, his business would collapse. Likewise, if you lock away all your money, refusing to let it serve its purpose, your prosperity weakens. Even wise saving is a form of circulation, for you are setting money aside with the intention of future use, not burying it from fear. Conscious circulation is an act of faith. It says, I live in a universe of plenty. As I give, I receive. As I spend, I am replenished. It transforms the act of paying for groceries, a bill, or a gift into a moment of affirmation. Each outgoing dollar becomes a messenger of your belief in abundance, carrying with it a silent blessing that ensures its return. The more joy and gratitude you feel in letting it go, the more swiftly it finds its way back to you. This law is not confined to money alone. It governs all resources, time, kindness, love, and ideas. What you withhold out of fear shrinks. What you release in trust expands. A generous spirit attracts generosity. Life mirrors the attitude you hold toward your own resources. If you treat them as scarce, they will behave as scarce. If you treat them as abundant, they will behave as abundant. To live in harmony with the law of circulation is to move through life without clinging, knowing that what is meant for you will always find you again, often in greater measure than you imagined. In this way, the current of wealth continues to flow, fresh, alive, and ever increasing. Atheism? Words are invisible commands sent into the unseen, shaping the conditions that later appear in the visible. Every sentence you speak about money becomes a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious, which, in turn, instructs the outer world to match it. When you declare lack, saying things like, I can't afford that, or money never stays with me, you are issuing orders for shortage to manifest. On the other hand, when you speak from a place of abundance, affirming, I always have more than enough, or money flows to me easily, you send forth a different command, one that invites prosperity to find you. The tongue is not a casual instrument. It is a rudder steering the entire ship of your financial life. Many fail to see this connection because the results are not instant, but just as a ship gradually changes course after the rudder turns, your circumstances shift according to the steady direction of your speech. This is why it is so vital to guard your words, especially in moments of stress or uncertainty. Every utterance carries creative power. Even a joke made in poverty consciousness plants seeds that may later take root. To speak abundance is not to ignore reality, but to choose which reality you are giving strength to. If you continually feed the idea of lack with your words, you fortify it. If you speak abundance with conviction, you fortify that instead. Your words also influence your emotions, and emotions are powerful magnets. When you speak positively about your financial life, you feel lighter, more confident, and more open to opportunities. This emotional state draws people, ideas, and circumstances into your orbit that align with wealth. Negative speech does the opposite. It closes doors, repels help, and blinds you to the possibilities around you. The law of command operates without prejudice. It simply brings you more of what you declare. The wisest course, then, is to make your speech intentional. Each day can begin with declarations that set the tone for your finances. I welcome unexpected money. I am surrounded by opportunities. My income grows constantly. Over time, these words sink into the subconscious where they are acted upon as truth. Life will then begin arranging itself to fulfill these orders, sometimes through sudden windfalls, sometimes through gradual and steady increase. You may notice you handle your resources more wisely, attract helpful connections, or spot opportunities you once overlooked. This is the work of the law responding to your command. It is not enough to say these words once or twice. The power lies in consistent repetition with belief. Doubt cancels a command as surely as silence does. Faith strengthens it. In moments when fear tries to rise, your words can become your shield. I am provided for. I am always supplied. Nothing can stop my good. Spoken often, such affirmations quiet the storm within and steady the course ahead. Eventually, the words you speak become so deeply rooted in belief that they feel like statements of fact. And when that happens, the outer world must rearrange itself to reflect them. You cannot outtalk your beliefs, but you can speak your way into new beliefs, and new beliefs will shape a new financial reality. Every fortune begins with a declaration. Speak yours boldly, for your words are not empty. They are the blueprint of your wealth, and the universe is listening, ready to build exactly as you command. If you cannot see abundance within your mind, you will not recognize it when it appears in your life. Vision is the silent architect of all prosperity, the blueprint from which reality is constructed. Every building first existed as an image in someone's imagination before it became brick and stone. In the same way, your financial life will take shape according to the image you consistently hold in your thoughts. Many people never rise above their current circumstances because they see only what is in front of them. They picture bills piling up, debts growing, and opportunities slipping away, and without realizing it, they are giving their minds the plans for continued lack. The mind does not create from what is fair or unfair. It creates from what it is shown repeatedly. To change your financial reality, you must feed your inner vision with images of the life you desire, not the one you fear. See yourself living in the home you love, working with joy, paying every bill with ease, and having more than enough to give generously. Make this vision so vivid that it stirs emotion within you, because emotion gives life to thought. A lifeless picture will fade, but a vision charged with feeling becomes magnetic. It begins to influence your choices, your habits, and the way others perceive you. People are drawn to those who carry a sense of purpose and certainty, and this attraction opens doors you could never have forced open by effort alone. Vision works quietly but powerfully. You may begin to notice small signs that your picture is becoming reality: a new client, a job offer, an unexpected refund, or a helpful connection. These are the early bricks being laid according to your inner plans. Some dismiss these as coincidence, but those who understand the law know they are evidence of alignment. The challenge is to hold your vision steady even when outward appearances seem to contradict it. A builder does not abandon construction because the foundation is not yet a complete house. They continue until the vision is fully realized. Likewise, you must keep seeing the financial freedom you desire until it stands complete in your life. Doubt is the enemy of vision, for it blurs the picture and weakens its power. Protect your mental image from the voices of fear, whether they come from others or from within. Surround yourself with reminders of your vision, words, pictures, environments that inspire you. Act in ways that agree with the image you hold. If your vision is one of wealth and order, carry yourself as a person who already lives in that reality. This does not mean reckless spending to imitate wealth, but rather embodying the calm confidence of someone whose needs are always met. Even the smallest actions, when aligned with your vision, reinforce it. Over time, you will find that the inner and outer worlds begin to match, as if reality has been molded around your mental picture. This is no accident. It is the law responding to your persistent image. Those who live without vision drift according to circumstance, but those who live with vision steer their lives toward abundance. Your inner sight is not just a dream. It is a command to the unseen to arrange itself in your favor. Hold it firmly, nurture it daily, and it will become the reality you step into. Gratitude is the invisible key that unlocks greater supply. It turns your attention away from what is missing and fixes it on what is already present, no matter how small. When you give thanks for even the smallest coin in your pocket, you acknowledge the flow of supply in your life, and this acknowledgement calls for more. The law responds to the vibration you send out, and gratitude sends the signal that you are ready and willing to receive. Complaining sends the opposite message. It declares dissatisfaction and scarcity, and so more of that is drawn into your experience. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, and whatever you focus on expands. Begin and end each day by naming the blessings in your life: money that has come in, help you have received, opportunities that have appeared, even the skills and ideas within you that can generate wealth. In doing this, you place yourself in a state of recognition, and what you recognize you multiply. Some think gratitude is simply a polite habit, but it is a spiritual force. It does not merely make you feel better. It rearranges your circumstances. A grateful heart cannot be shut out from supply, for gratitude opens every channel. When you are thankful, your mind becomes alert to opportunities you might otherwise miss. You notice ways to save, to earn, to connect, and to create. People are drawn to those who radiate appreciation, and in this way, gratitude becomes a magnet for both goodwill and material blessing. Even in times of difficulty, gratitude has the power to change the atmosphere. To say, "I am thankful for the money I have now," and for the greater supply on its way, in the middle of a financial storm, is to plant a seed of faith that will grow despite appearances. This is not self-deception. It is choosing to align your words and feelings with the reality you want to create rather than the one you wish to leave behind. Gratitude transforms spending into a joyful act. When you pay a bill and say, "I am thankful I had the means to cover this," you shift the transaction from loss to acknowledgement of provision. That shift affects the way money moves in your life because you are affirming that there is always enough. It is impossible to feel true gratitude and fear at the same time. One displaces the other, and gratitude is the stronger force when chosen deliberately. Those who make gratitude a daily practice often find that their needs are met in ways they could not have predicted. Unexpected payments arrive, debts are forgiven, work becomes more profitable, or ideas emerge that open new channels of income. Gratitude also has a multiplying effect on intangible wealth. Peace of mind, health, supportive relationships, and joy in the present moment. These are forms of prosperity that money alone cannot purchase, yet they often pave the way for greater financial ease. So, the more you give thanks for, the more you find to give thanks for. It is a cycle that builds upon itself. If you train your mind to see blessings everywhere, you will soon discover that blessings seem to find you everywhere. Where gratitude is not just a feeling that comes after abundance, it is the cause that brings abundance. It is the fertile ground in which the seeds of prosperity take root and flourish. When you live in a state of thankfulness, you are never without riches, for you see them in every corner of your life, and in seeing them, you draw forth more. Resentment and disorder are silent thieves of prosperity. When you hold on to grudges, replay old wrongs, or nurture bitterness toward people or situations, you are tying up mental and emotional energy that could be used to attract abundance. Unforgiveness creates a kind of blockage, like a dam in the river of supply. The flow may still try to reach you, but it is slowed, diverted, or scattered. Forgiveness is not about approving of what was done to you. It is about freeing yourself from the weight of carrying it. The moment you release someone in your heart, you also release yourself. You open the channels through which money, opportunity, and peace can reach you. Many do not see the link between unforgiveness and finances, but the connection is strong. Debt in the heart often mirrors debt in the purse. When you cancel emotional debts, those unspoken demands for someone to make it right, you also make space for your own accounts to clear. Alongside forgiveness, alignment is essential. Money, like all forms of good, is drawn to order. When your thoughts are scattered, your actions careless, or your environment in disarray, you send a mixed message to the universe. Aligning yourself with abundance means bringing harmony into every part of your life, paying bills on time, keeping your surroundings clean and inviting, speaking truthfully in your dealings, and handling every transaction with integrity. Order is a signal of readiness. Imagine a guest invited to stay at your home. If the room is prepared, they will settle in comfortably. If it is cluttered and chaotic, they may hesitate to enter. Prosperity behaves the same way. When your affairs are in order, wealth finds a welcome place to reside. This alignment is also an internal work. If you say you desire financial freedom but carry beliefs that wealth is wrong, fleeting, or hard to keep, you are out of agreement with your own desire. Alignment requires that your beliefs, emotions, and actions all point in the same direction. It is not enough to say affirmations of abundance while acting in ways that contradict them. Every choice, from how you spend your time to how you respond to challenges, should reflect the reality you are calling in. Forgiveness plays a role here too, for it clears the emotional space needed to think and act from a place of calm certainty. Without it, even the best plans can be sabotaged by hidden resentments or guilt. When you forgive, you feel lighter, clearer, and more able to focus on building the life you desire. When you align your outer actions with that inner clarity, you create a magnetic field that draws in the resources you need. Opportunities appear not as random luck, but as the natural outcome of living in harmony with the laws of abundance. In this state, you are no longer chasing money. You are creating the conditions in which money naturally arrives and stays. Forgiveness frees the flow, and alignment directs it. Together, they form a powerful invitation to prosperity, one that cannot be ignored. The universe responds to clarity, and when your heart is free from old weights and your life reflects the order of abundance, you will find that supply comes to you with ease, consistency, and in greater measure than before.